CGC did us dirty when they changed that label from the beautiful brand consistent blue label to this new black and white label. And I say new, this has been something that's happened for a while. I don't know, did they do this like last year or something? I did a video on it. You can go find it on my channel. CGC got a lot of flack when they announced this on their social media. I remember how people were kind of going crazy with it, being critical about it. And I really kind of have to agree with a lot of the fact that I don't think the label looks better. For me, I don't know why they had to do that, unless my speculation is that it just something wasn't going on right with the trading card aspect of CGC, and they weren't competing enough, and they felt like they needed to do something drastic and new. And maybe there was some influence from the sports card market. But look, I want to show you, I am a huge CGC fanboy. So this is going to be a very negative video about my current thoughts on the CGC label for trading cards. But I want you to know that I'm a big fan of the company because they have been such a big name with comic books. I have boxes of CGC graded comic books. I love the blue label on video games. I think this looks absolutely fantastic. I think it's a great alternative to WATA, VGA. I own all three of them. I think they're all great grading companies. CGC is doing this blue label across the board. They're doing it with the VHSs, the video games, their comic books, and it made sense for the trading card. That's why I was on board. I was bullish with CGC, and I just loved it as a CGC fanboy who liked CGC graded comic books. I like their transition to now VHS and video games, and I thought the trading cards looked good with the blue label. The thing about the black and white label, they talked about when they first announced this, like it lets the card kind of stand on its own. I don't know that I really agree with that. I think if you're buying a graded card, you like kind of the way it looks slabbed. If you just wanted the card, you just get it raw, you'd be a raw collector, or put it in a one touch or something like that. So I actually think that it kind of goes hand in hand with the slab. I like to grade with SGC now as my new alternative to CGC since I don't like their new label. And their tuxedo slab, the black and white slab, it's like a dark mode slab. It looks amazing with cards, and it allows the card to shine, but also it acts as a nice frame for the card. So the biggest thing for me, number one, I really don't think it looks great on its own. I put up over here on my computer, that's what I'm looking at. You can't see it on the camera right here, but when they first announced this, and they showed off the black and white label as well as the pristine label. Let me say this, I do like the pristine label. I think it looks okay. I think it looks like something, if SGC were to have like a special label for pristine, they do, but it's like not really that distinct from their regular label. The pristine really stands out for CGC. That looks like it would be like an SGC kind of pristine, right? And then so I like the pristine on its own, but it's just not, you can't tell it's CGC unless you know it's CGC or you see CGC in the corner of the label. Same thing with the black and white. I actually just don't think the black and white is very attractive. It looks kind of just too bland and generic. And I understand they want the card to be the focus, but to me, it's just, there's not enough pizzazz on the label too. And I think I hold to this thesis that I think graded card collectors like myself do care about the look of the slab, the label, the brand, and how it all looks together with their card. And to me, that black and white label just looks too generic. If it didn't say CGC in the corner, if you weren't used to the overall look of the label, you just, you wouldn't, I don't think it would stand out to you. You wouldn't know that it's CGC. That's what's so strong about CGC's branding is the blue label that they're known for in comic books. That's why I think it works so well with video games, with VHS, because they are a big name in the space. And in my opinion, they're a name that you can trust. So I don't understand why we don't have the blue label also with trading cards to keep it all consistent. If you look at this big picture they have of all of their different items that they're grading together, the trading card aspect of that image, it's the label there stands out like a sore thumb because it looks like some other grading company is just thrown into the picture, and it would look so much better if everything across the board was the blue label. And it's a slippery slope. I mean, why not have a different label for the video games and a different label for VHS? To me, it does not make sense that they do that different from trading cards. And to me, I believe that the reason they did this was there must be something that was off in the trading card area of their business, and they felt they needed to do something drastic and different. Maybe because they were known for comic books, people weren't trusting them as much in the trading card space, and they wanted to detach themselves from that. I don't know what it was or what it could have been, but I feel like there was some reason they did it. I know there was another individual heading up their sports cards, I believe, together with the individual heading up the trading card section. And the sports cards had like this green label, and it was different from the blue label CGC. So maybe they wanted to do something there to kind of consolidate things, or I don't know. There's something weird going on that led them to make that decision. And ultimately, I think it was the wrong decision. I think that they are known as that blue label brand. I think brand identity and consistency with your brand, how people can identify you instantly with that blue label, it's so important for CGC. I think the blue label is so iconic with comic books, and now across how they're using it across the spectrum in their categories. It's just so jarring to see it with trading cards, and they have not made that move back. I think they would probably feel like they were admitting a defeat if they were to do that now. But honestly, for me personally, and again, guys, this is all just my personal opinion on it. If you love the new label, that's awesome. I'm just giving you my feeling on it. But I have not gotten any new labels. I am not interested in getting any of their new labels, even the pristine label. Since this change, I have not gotten any CGC cards with that new label. I bypass them when I'm doing eBay searches. I look past them, and I simply grade myself now. When I grade cards, I just go to SGC. I just think that is now my alternative. I'm kind of tired of PSA. I'm not really big on BGS. And SGC is really my go-to when I grade myself. I don't mind buying PSA. I don't mind buying BGS. I don't mind buying SGC. I like to grade with SGC, but when it comes to trading cards, I just bypass CGC now. I do like them, again, for their video games, for their comic books. I would buy VHSs from them. If it doesn't have that blue label on it, it's a no-go for me.